Hey, sorry. I was waiting to see if this last thing would pop up. Unfortunately, it didn't. So I guess we'll just have to wait on that. If it comes up, then I'll probably do something with it tomorrow. But unfortunately, what I was waiting for did not come up very soon. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'll check again at the end, but that's it. Um, so let me go over this, like the order and all that. But first, I want to show you where they were asking for leave to file a SIR reply, the kind of stuff that they were going to file with that. But then that's the thing that didn't come through. So you can't actually see any of the actual letter with the SIR reply and like all the exhibits and stuff like that. So give me one sec here. All right. So I'm pretty sure everybody knows what this is about. We have been going back and forth all day about the Taylor Swift deposition. Last night, they very much made it sound like this was kind of a done deal, like she was going to be deposed in late October. Then we come to find out that there's some kind of resistance to that in Blake Lively's response today. I thought, some of what she was saying as far as the scheduling and stuff like that, it sounded like, okay, well, then it would kind of make sense for them not to be able to have that extension. But I don't know. I don't have enough experience with this kind of stuff. I have no idea. So, I also didn't agree with some of the stuff that she put in there, especially because, like, I don't want to hear a damn word about respecting privacy from the dumbass who tried to get my credit card number because she doesn't like me talking about her online. So there was some stuff in there that was kind of like, okay. And then her saying that we don't understand why Taylor Swift is relevant at this point. Okay, well, that's an unfortunate display of your intelligence, if that's true. When is the deadline? He just granted an extension to October 10th, but we'll get to that in a second. Anyways, so some of it I understand. Some of it I did not agree with her arguments, but the judge did not rule on those, on that basis. It was because of the scheduling, and you know what? I'll just tell you when we get to it. So, okay. So they're asking to file a SIR reply of no more than 2 pages in response to Blake Lively's reply in support of her motion to modify the case management plan and scheduling orders. While the Wayfair parties ask that the court consider the arguments raised in connection with their opposition to the motion, they also seek leave to file a SIR reply to provide the court with documents demonstrating the relevance of Taylor Swift's anticipated deposition testimony and responding to arguments newly raised in Lively's reply. Accordingly, the Wayfair parties respectfully request the court grant leave for them to file a letter brief in reply to Lively's reply, which is filed herewith. So we don't actually have that. So that hasn't shown up yet. I know some of it's going to be sealed. So maybe that's why it hasn't popped up yet. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah, so there's a bunch of exhibits here that they are going to seal because it's going to be designated confidential. But, we can't see any of it right now because, like I said, this is a thing that I was waiting for to come up, hopefully. But, again, we'll check one more time when I'm done with everything else here. And if not, then we'll have to wait till tomorrow. All right. What I'm going to do right now, because I've been looking at screens all day and it sucks for my headaches. Hey, Omar, what's up? I'm going to turn the face cam off because I've been, like I said, I've been working all day and I've been staring at screens. So it's going to kill me if I don't. I'm going to turn the face cam off so I can put my glasses on and turn these lights down. Sorry about that. I know people don't like when I turn it off, but unfortunately, today's just been a long day. So I got to give myself a little break with that. Hang on. Yeah, these like really bright ring lights and shit in the back is not fun sometimes. Okay. Before the court, a request for extension of the deadline to complete depositions filed by both plaintiff Blake Lively and the Wayfarer parties. Lively's motion seeks a 10-day extension of the deadline to complete depositions from September 30th to October 10th for the purpose of preparing for and taking the depositions of Sarowitz, Heath, and Baldoni. Lively asserts that the extension is necessary because the Wayfarer parties have belatedly produced large numbers of documents. I know they said that they dumped like 80,000 or something on them is what they were complaining about. So, and have failed to produce others. And that's the signal communications that they were also just going back and forth about. Wayfarer was supposed to provide those signal communications to them today. So And Steve Sarowitz was supposed to be deposed on Monday, but I think the schedule has changed now. All right. An additional time is needed both to review and receive these documents before completing the relevant depositions. The Wayfarer parties have filed a response opposing Lively's request and seeking their own extension of the deposition deadline to the end of October for the purpose of scheduling the deposition of non-party Taylor Swift. The Wayfarer parties contend that their requested extension is necessary because Swift's pre-existing professional obligations now prevent her from being deposed within the current discovery window. So what I didn't understand also was why they waited so long. Apparently, man, I missed this case. Well, I mean, nobody's stopping you from coming back, dude. It's all you. We got to get you back in here. Not right now, though, because I got to finish this. All right. What I don't understand is why they waited so long on this, I guess. So they had like tentatively set up for September 22nd, but then they decided not to do that. They never served her with another subpoena. But then 3 days ago, they decided to contact her counsel and say, like, we want to do a deposition. That's when they gave them the dates, October 20th to 25th, because she's not going to be available until then. I really don't understand why they waited so long. Apparently, they were trying to provide some more information right before the judge, made this ruling. But we still can't see that because that's the thing that hasn't come out yet. So, all right. A party must demonstrate good cause for the modification of a scheduling order. I don't think I want to read all this stuff. Hang on. Good cause is likely to be found when the moving party has been generally diligent. The need for more time was neither foreseeable nor its fault, and refusing to grant the continuance would create a substantial risk of unfairness to that party. In short, and among other things, the party seeking an extension should demonstrate that it exercised diligence in conducting discovery by describing what discovery it conducted in the time period originally scheduled, and that there are circumstances that were not foreseen at the time of the order sought to be modified, nor the party's fault, that give rise to the request for the extension. That was a fucking mouthful. Give me 1 sec. I need some water. I got some stuff that came up in the other. Hang on, let me pull up Pacer really quick. Okay, I'll finish this first. God, my ADHD is here today. I tried to give her some. She said no. Give me what? Oh, the mood lighting and diffusers? You did not. You did not. You gave me a tripod that was supposed to work with my camera because we have the same one, but then you gave me a different tripod. Do you want me to tell on you like this? Do we have to keep going? I mean, okay. I brought that. Oh, I made room in my suitcase for that big bulky ass tripod. And then I get home and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's the wrong one." Thanks, man. Appreciate you. In my head, I did. Okay, cool. Somebody says you need an Addy at 7:54 p.m. I think not, ma'am. All right. Just stop talking to me. Lively has demonstrated good cause for her requested extension. The Wayfarer parties have only recently produced certain additional responsive documents, nearly 80,000 pages in total, and have failed to produce others entirely, notwithstanding this court's order of August 27th, which required that those documents be produced by September 8th. Lively has demonstrated due diligence in attempting to obtain these materials by, among other things, timely filing her omnibus motion to compel on August 4th, the date set by the court for such motions. The Wayfarer parties assert that when the parties agreed to deposition dates, Lively knew that additional documents would be forthcoming. But Lively did not know at the time, 1, when the court would rule on her omnibus motion, 2, the corresponding deadline the court would set for the updated productions, 3, how voluminous the updated productions would be, or 4, that the Wayfarer parties would fail to honor the court's order regarding the timing of discovery. Speaking of those productions, the 80,000 pages or whatever, Blake decided to withdraw her subpoena to Perez Hilton today, saying that it's clear that in those pages are messages that would have been produced in the response to his subpoena. Now, I don't buy that. I think that she, wanted out is going to be fruitless. And the same thing she did, with everybody else when she decided to withdraw mine and Ashley's and Leanne's and Cassidy's and anyone else who was, bothered by her mess. They said that they had gotten the information that they needed, I guess, in the meet and confer process, and through other means. No, none of us ever met and conferred with them. They either like refused or put people in impossible situations. So I don't buy what they're selling with that. But she did withdraw it, so he's out of the woods now. That's good. All right. Okay. Failed to honor the court's orders regarding discovery. Lacking that knowledge, it was not unreasonable for Lively to agree to schedule the depositions on September 15, 18, blah, 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 especially given the September 30 deadline. Because Lively has been generally diligent and her request has not resulted from carelessness, an attorney's otherwise busy schedule, or a change in litigation strategy, the request is granted. Okay. The Wayfarer parties are directed to make defendants Sarowitz, Heath, and Baldoni available for depositions within the extended window. So they have until October 10th now. The Wayfarer parties have not similarly demonstrated good cause for their requested extension. The only justification they have provided for the extension is their assertion that Swift's pre-existing professional obligations now prevent her from appearing for a deposition prior to October 20th. Importantly, however, the Wayfarer parties have provided no discussion of when they began attempting to schedule the deposition. Discovery has been ongoing in this case for approximately 6 months. The Wayfarer parties previously requested Swift's deposition in May 2025 before ultimately withdrawing the subpoena. They have offered no evidence that they have served a renewed subpoena on Swift, which I'm guessing was going to be part of the documents that they asked for leave to file, but I don't know for sure. Thus, at most, the Wayfarer parties have demonstrated that scheduling the deposition now presents logistical difficulties. That does not answer the question of why the deposition could not have been conducted earlier. Having failed to demonstrate appropriate diligence, the requested extension is denied. So, let me pull up Jones real quick. I don't know if Omar is still here. I don't know if that's just like that's that. They just can't do it now because she's not available before then or what. I know I heard somebody else say they thought maybe it was going to be part of a negotiation thing. I don't know about all that, man. That's all just speculation. Not saying it's, wrong. Just saying I have no fucking clue. Let's see. What is all this? We got some Stephanie Jones stuff here. Yeah, still nothing for their letter or anything like that. I guess those exhibits have not been sealed. So let's move this here. I don't really know if this is going to be anything interesting. I just saw it pop up on my alerts. So take a second. Okay. I won't be able to see that one. Let's do this. I don't know what this is yet, by the way. So. Okay. I'm guessing, yeah, this stuff is going to be sealed too. So this is part of Koslow's deposition. They're wanting to de-designate something. If I can get this to load, I'll tell you what it is. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. It takes a minute sometimes. Okay. De-designate the portions of Catherine Case's deposition testimony involving, and then of course, I'm not going to be able to see what that is. There's no legitimate basis under the protective order for this designation, which prevents counsel for the Jones parties from even informing their client that they have learned, and then there's, redactions. I don't know what client she would be talking about. She's, not the publicist for any of the Wayfarer parties at this point, or Blake Lively or anyone involved with them. So I don't know what that would be about, but yeah. The Jones parties therefore respectfully request that the court order that this information cannot be designated as attorney's eyes only, and that it can be shared with the Jones parties. For the avoidance of doubt, the Jones parties do not object to maintaining this information as confidential under the protective order, such that it continues to be protected from disclosure as appropriate from the general public. Well, screw you guys. No. Yeah, there's not going to be much I can tell here because it's all redacted, but okay. Ms. Case's attorney designated this testimony as AEO on the record during the deposition. That day, the parties discussed the process for solidifying AEO designations, and the undersigned cautioned Ms. Case's counsel that the applicable protective order does not apply to something. Then, during the deposition of Brianna Butler Coslow on September 9th, the Jones parties conferred with counsel for the Wayfair parties in Ms. Case and requested that they agree to remove the designation over Ms. Case's testimony. Okay. For the limited purpose of being able to verbally share that information with Ms. Jones. Because what you want to do, if you're worried about privacy, is share it with Stephanie Jones, who will hand it over to a shell company for nothing, just to be a bitch. But, you know, whatever. Maybe her psychic said it's okay this time. Okay. Yeah, we don't need to really go over this stuff too much. To the extent that Ms. Case's attorneys contend that something somehow falls within this section, Ms. Case was unequivocal that she never knew, so I don't know what the fuck that is. Yeah. Okay. So something is squarely relevant to Ms. Jones' defamation claim and the truth or falsity of and malice behind the allegations contained in... That could be anything. Okay. The protection of highly personal and intimate information cannot stretch to protect something that Stephanie Jones' psychic said was important, which is, I'm assuming, what's there. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing that we can really get out of this at this point, just because everything's so redacted. Hang on. All right. So this was what, my third one today, and I think I got something. This other crazy ass dude might give me something else to do later tonight, so I'm gonna have to go now. But I'll be back either soon or tomorrow, and then I'll keep checking to see if that does come out on the docket. The Wayfarer's sir reply regarding the Taylor Swift deposition and why that was relevant, and what they had to say in response to the arguments that were presented in Lively's reply. But it doesn't look like I can see that right now. I'll check one more time, but hold on. Usually it's like right away with the request, but I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, no, still nothing. All right, well, I'll let you guys know when we do have that. So thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. Let me read this real quick. Shannon Connolly, thank you for the $10 super sticker. I think this is like the second time today from you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Meandering, thank you for the $10. Really nice of you guys. Appreciate it. All right, guys. I got to go, but see you later. Have a good night.